Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to Unispace Wembley and very warm welcome to our online viewers. Today's theme is turning the inner voice. So very interesting topic, and for that we have Maria with us. Maria has been a Raj Yoga practitioner and lecturer for more than 30 years. And she is a coordinator of the BK Center in Valencia and member of the national coordination team of Brahma Kumaris in Spain. So it's over to Maria. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Today we are going to focus on tuning our inner voice. And I would like to start with 2 minutes of silence to disconnect from the out noise and connect with our own inner world. Just 2 minutes. Thank you. So, I don't know if you have experience or not of meditation, but when we practice meditation, we learn to listen our thoughts, to experience our thoughts. And I don't know if you have this experience, but before starting practicing meditation, that I am practicing meditation for the last 30 years, I didn't think, what am I thinking? Never. I was always focusing the activities, the world outside, the noise, the people, the relationships, but never I was asking myself, what am I thinking? What am I feeling now? Why I am feeling like that? Why I am thinking this? Why I'm worried because of that? I mean, I was always focusing outside. And when we start meditating, then we start looking inside, that is looking at our thoughts, feeling what we are thinking, if we are feeling well or not, if our thoughts are negative or positive, or trying to understand why we are in that mood, is looking at ourselves. And this is really very important, because it's the first step of knowing ourselves. So we know a lot about the world. The world is full of noise, and we have so many inputs of information through internet, people around us, very demanding. The world in which we are living is very demanding. So now we are going to reflect a bit and do some exercises on how to tune into ourselves, into our own world, to our own voice, and also how to change this tune. Because sometimes the noise is coming not from outside, but from inside. And it's not a nice noise. So how to see which is the cause of that noise and how we can change that. And first of all, I would like to look at our own inner dialogue. Have you ever realize which is your inner dialogue? Can you observe shall we stop for 2 minutes and think, which is my favorite sentence? My favorite inner thought, like for example, for many years, my inner dialogue was, I have to. This was like a hammer inside. I have to do this, I have to call someone, I have to do this work, I have to finish that, I have to. The whole day. And this was a sign of which were the state of my mind. For other people, the sentence could be, oh, it's very difficult. It's good, but it's very difficult. Many people say that. It's very difficult. This is also a sign of what is happening in your inner world. Another sentence that is very common is, oh, this is, I will try, but this is very, I think I won't be able to do it. I will try. Or, oh yes, I will do it tomorrow. So there are different dialogues. Which is my favorite? Can we just stop for 1 minute and think, which is the dialogue that is more is repeating in myself more often? Can we just think a moment about this? Okay. Maybe the ones that are online, you can put in the chat if you want the sentence that is your favorite sentence. For me is I have to. But it was. But I changed that. I try to change. Not always I succeed, but I try to change. Can you imagine which is the new one? The new sentence that I repeating to myself? I want to. Instead of I have to, I want to. I have to go shopping. No, I like to go shopping. Or, for example, I have to cook. No, I like to cook. I want to cook because I enjoy cooking. Whatever thing I have to do, instead of I have to, I change. And then my mind also changes. Now I am enjoying what I am doing. Okay? It's not an obligation. It's not compulsory. It's because I want. Which is your favorite sentence? Did you think? You know, because you were smiling. No? You don't have an inner dialogue? Yes, I'm sure. Positive dialogue. Not positive.
So I would say, like same as for you, I have to do this, I have to do that. Or most of the time I use, I will do it tomorrow. Yeah.
You know how this is called procrastination? Procrastination is when you leave things unfinished. I mean, you don't finish. You don't. You are very slow and and I will do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes.
Yes, that's true.
This is not good. But I have to reveals a self-demanding perfectionism excess of responsibilities. And I know that this is from my childhood, because I was the eldest of my brothers and sisters, and my family, they were very demanding on me. I mean, sometimes you continue with this dialogue, even from the childhood, you know. It is something very rooted in your personality. Any idea? Do you have another favorite inner dialogue?
I'd like to.
This is positive. Yeah. It's normal in you. So you are very optimistic, very positive, and you enjoy life. Congratulations. Very good. I would like to be like you. Any other idea? Do you have an idea?
He's not listening.
He's not. I don't know. Okay. So maybe if you want through the chat to send something, you can. Anybody on the chat?
There is one from online. It says Om Shanti, and the second one says, I am master of my thoughts. I am a master of my thoughts.
Wow. Very powerful. Oh, is this real? I mean, wow. I'm the master of my thoughts. Wow. This is very good. That means that you have self-mastery. That is very, very good. So, the idea is to change my inner dialogue. If I see that my inner dialogue reflects, that is the most usual case, more normal case, or either, for example, excesses of responsibilities, like the example of I told you before, or lack of self-esteem. For example, I won't be able to do it. This is very important, but I don't feel enough capable of that. Many people think like that. I mean, self-esteem, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-respect, lack of self-confidence. But if I am reflecting that in my inner dialogue, make an effort to change this tune to a more positive dialogue. And for that, I need, as a first step, dedicate time to myself. If I am the whole day, of course, I have to work, I have to take care of my family, I have to. You see? I mean, I am in a very noisy job or very demanding job, and the whole day I am in a focusing outside. I won't be able to change that dialogue. I will again go once again to my routine. Routine is the old patterns. So in the old patterns, there are many inner noises that make me suffer, make me tense. Like, for example, worries. Worries of what? For the future, for the past, for the relationships, inner problems. You know that nowadays, which is the most frequent sickness? At least in Spain. I don't know in UK, but in Spain, the most frequent sickness, you know what is it? Depression, anxiety. But this is very common, depression and anxiety that are together. But insomnia. People cannot sleep at night. And they take many medicines. and not even with medicines. They can sleep. And why is that? Of course, it's because of the external pressure, but mainly it's because you don't know how to deal with that. You don't know how to deal with the pressure. You don't know how to deal with the tension that pressure affects you, is affecting you. So to manage that is the most important thing nowadays. Not to let that the external pressure affect you in one way or another and make you to get worried, stressed, tense. And there is a relationship, very clear relationship, of course, between the situations that you are working or you are going through and your tension, of course, because we are human and we get influenced. But sometimes we can change the situations, but many times we cannot change the situations. I cannot change, for example, my colleague in the university that is criticizing me or have a very bad relationship with me. I cannot change the relationship with my mother, my father, my brother, whatever. I cannot change the place in which I live, that is very noisy. Sometimes we cannot change the situations that are tense or make us to feel stressed. But what we can do is to strengthen our mind, intellect, in general, our self, for dealing with that. So, to be more resilient. I think you know what resilience is. Did you hear about resilience? Resilience is a capacity that we have, the human beings, of overcoming all types of situations and to succeed and get more strong, be more strong after overcoming those situations. Let's see, for example, I lose one member of my family, very close family member, and of course I will feel this loss, of course, because I'm human. But after that, if I passed through that situation, following my principles with care, with love toward that person, and I pass this situation in a very loveful and caring way, after that I will feel more strong. This happened to me when because I accompanied my parents. First was my father, and some years later my mother. They died slowly because they passed through a long illness, and I was taking care of them. And after they died, I felt more strong inside, more mature, more strong spiritually, and I learned a lot in that relationship. I learned a lot. So from any situation, even some situations that are painful, I can get a lot of learning, of course, but a lot of strength, spiritual strength. And yes, I can get spiritual power from those situations, because maybe I am becoming more tolerant. I am becoming with more power to confront, to face difficult situations, challenges, like in this case the sickness, the illness, or more power, of course, of discernment in difficult situations, and so on, cooperation, and so on. So the idea is that even if the situations are very challenging, I can increase my spiritual strength and be more resilient, and then pass those situations and succeed in those situations. You know what I mean? So for that, I have to, of course, to turn inside, to dedicate time to myself, to understand me better, and this is the first step. And the second step is to get a spiritual strength. Meditation is a very good method, but there are people that don't like meditation, but they like just reflection. For example, walking, or reading, or so from any kind of activity that allow you to enjoy your inner world is good. Just maybe reading something that uplifts you, or writing. Writing is very good. Did you try write your reflection, your personal reflection? Now it's not in fashion anymore, but when I was young, it was very fashionable to write your diary. Every day I remember that I wrote. I was not meditating by that time, but it was my way of meditating in somehow, because at the end of the day, I wrote my diary with the experiences of the day, with my reflections about my experiences of the day. You know, it was a kind of meditation. It was a kind of reflection. Or even without writing, if you want to walk by the sea or in the mountains, or I remember the conversation with a colleague in the university. I was trying to convince him of the benefits of the meditation, and he told me, I don't need to meditate because I like to ski, to practice sport, the ski sport. And when I am skiing in snow, everything is so white, and this transports me. I don't need to meditate. This is my meditation. So everybody is different. So everybody is different. So we can't just find a way of being with ourselves. But this is the most important thing. Other people like cooking, for example. Why not to meditate while cooking? Do you like cooking? Yeah? Sorry? Sometimes no, sometimes yes. So when you like cooking, then you meditate while cooking, in this sense that be with yourself. Introversion. We call this introversion. But this is very important nowadays, because we live too much focusing outside. And you know, I like to compare this when we start driving. Do you know how to drive? All of you? You know? Okay. Now it's not fashionable between the young people to drive. I asked my students, how many of you have cars? A car? And not many, because nowadays to have a car is maybe a way of pollute, of contaminate the environment, and it's very expensive. Lots of expense connected with the car. So, but okay, let's imagine that we know how to drive, and at the very beginning, if you are attentive, if you are focusing outside the car, then you cannot drive because something is wrong inside. But if you focus inside, then you can have an accident. But you learn how to be focusing outside and inside as well. And then you do it automatically. With the meditation is something like this. I mean, the fact that you are connecting with yourself doesn't mean that you are disconnecting from the outside. You can be taking care of your responsibilities, cooking, doing everything, and at the same time meditating in yourself. I mean, observing, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking like this? For example, let's think in a meeting. You have a meeting in your job, and then you start thinking something not very nice about someone because this person is speaking with a lot of ego, a lot of arrogance, a colleague of you. And then you are thinking, oh, this person has a lot of ego, he's very arrogant, why he's so arrogant, blah, 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 no? This is your inner dialogue. And then you realize that because at the same time that you are listening and you are in the meeting, you are listening to yourself. And then when you listen your own dialogue, then you realize that it's not nice. That is, you are like a critic. And then you change your dialogue. Okay, I don't mind. Okay, he's like he is. I don't mind. Maybe he has another quality. Why not? Let's think in a quality. Let's think which quality can I see in this person. Maybe he's very intelligent, he's very wise, he speaks very well, whatever. No, just change your dialogue. So you don't need to be alone in the mountains, by the sea, or alone at home for observing your thoughts, for being introverted. You can be introverted wherever you are, even in the middle of a lot of noise. You can have this attitude, this introversion. So tune your inner voice. And when in this tuning, then you can change. It's like when you tune a radio, you change the I don't know how you say in English, the emisora. I mean, you can change. And then try to change it, connect it with your inner or your core values. I will explain this. Another example of changing the tune is, do you remember the vinyl discs? Vinyl discs. You change the song. If you want one song, you put the needle in one song, and if you want another song, you put the needle in the other song. No, record player. No. Okay. If I notice that the song is not according to what I like or what I want, and I want to change the song, what shall I do? To change my dialogue, my inner dialogue. But for changing my inner dialogue, I have to change the needle from one song to another song. And which is the needle? Because we are speaking about thoughts. The thoughts are the creation of my mind. My mind is thinking the whole day, like a radio. My mind is like a radio. It's thinking the whole day. But my mind has no power for changing the song. The needle is another capacity I have, that is my intellect. The intellect is the capacity of the self, I the self, that in which there are the spiritual powers, the willpower, for example, the discernment. All the powers are there, but is the power of changing the patterns of my thoughts. Otherwise, if the mind is free, the mind goes always to the old patterns, you know? For example, imagine that there is someone that I don't like. Someone I don't like. Why? Because maybe this person make me something in the past that was not nice, whatever. I don't like him. And when I see that person, immediately my mind starts thinking in a critical way about that person, with fear, very critical, okay? And I want to change those thoughts. I want to change that pattern of thoughts. My mind won't be able to change that. The mind is always coming back to the same patterns. The capacity I have to change this pattern of thoughts is the capacity of my intellect. And you know what? The intellect is like a muscle. If we think in terms of the body, it would be like a muscle in the body. What happens with a muscle in the body if you don't make exercise? What happens? Soft, wake. It's wake and soft, okay? And then you cannot use it. And we live in a society that what promotes is the passivity, the laziness of the intellect. Why? I will explain. Because the intellect is the capacity of reflection, of taking decisions, of discernment. And if you just look at it, watch TV many hours a day, if you just tend to be a passive person. To be a passive person is not to do anything, because sometimes to do too much, to be too active, is a way of being passive as well. It's a way of escaping. You know what I mean? The intellect is not working more when you are doing so much. It's working, it's exercising when you are reflecting, you are observing, you are detached of those thoughts. The intellect allows you to be detached of your thoughts and observe your thoughts and change the thoughts. This capacity, inner capacity, is very important. And but if you are all the day in the world of action, this is a way of escaping, and your intellect is getting more and more passive. You understand? So in this case, the society, even for example, looking through internet, you can use internet as a way of escaping of yourself. Because if you are looking one page, another, now jumping from one place to another in the virtual world, you are escaping of yourself. You are not seeing yourself in the mirror. You don't know yourself more. You know more about the world, of course, but not about yourself. So the intellectual the power of the intellect is very important, is where the power, the willpower is. And we live in a society that is making us more weak, no more strong, more weak. So this is really very important. So tune into our own dialogues, into our own self, and go to the death, in the sense of try to experience our inner qualities. You know, if we could represent the self that is invisible, of course, it's a spiritual light, is not physical. But if we could represent the spiritual world as physically, we could represent as a coconut that is very ugly outside and hard, but inside is white and sweet, like the coconut. And then try to reach the essence of yourself. Try to reach that part of yourself that is sweet, that is clean, that is full of joy, that is peace. You know that in Brahma Kumaris we have this slogan, Om Shanti, that is, I am peace. But I could say also, I am bliss, I am pure love, I am truth, I am purity, I am power. So try to reach that point, because it's in each of us. It's not outside. It's in each of us. For example, if I am, you like the sea or the mountain? What do you prefer? Sea or mountain? You like to walk? Both? You, sea or mountain? Mountain. Both. Okay. Who prefers the sea? Okay. Okay, I am going by the sea. Okay. And I am enjoying a lot, because it's nice, the light, the water, everything is nice. The sound of the waves is nice. I come from Valencia. In Valencia we have the beach, and now it's raining so much. It's pouring. They sent me some videos. There's flooding there now, but normally it's very nice. And yes, okay, I am walking by the sea, very nice. And so I am experiencing bliss, happiness there, joy. But where is the joy? Where is the happiness? Where is the bliss? Where is it? Is it in the sea? No. In the sea, there are fish, there are things, but not bliss. Where is the happiness? It's within me. No? So, why I am experiencing that there? Because that nice environment is stimulating in myself that feeling, that experience. Or peace, for example. That environment is stimulating in me that experience. But the experience is in myself. I can have the same experience in my home. If I find a nice setting in my home, nice place in my home, I can meditate and have this bliss and this peace. So the peace is not outside. The peace is not the bliss is not outside. It's in myself. No? So the idea I want to transmit is that I can connect with those experiences no matter where I am. Do you think that this is possible? Is possible that? No matter where I am? Wherever I am? if I could connect with this sweetness that is in myself, those qualities, no matter where I am, then I have the secret for changing my dialogue. I have the secret for changing the pattern of my thoughts, because I will start thinking something blissful, something peaceful, loveful, yeah? Because I connected. And which is the capacity in myself that allows me to connect with my inner soft core, my inner core of these qualities, the intellect. It's very important, the intellect. The intellect is like the antenna that connect with that part of myself, and then allows me to experience. And also, with the intellect, I can connect with the source of powers, with the source of peace, of love, of bliss. And this is what we do in meditation. Meditation consists in two movements. One is inside, first movement inside, go inside. And the second movement is go to the source, connect with the source of energy, the source of spiritual powers, the source of love, of peace, of bliss. And then I get the energy, the spiritual energy, and this trigger in myself all those qualities and all those experiences. And then I will be more resilient, more strong, I will be stronger to overcome all the situations in life, and I will be more happy. That is what we want to be. So meditation is easy. It's just these two movements. So it's not from outside. It's not to move to outside. It's to move inside first, to your inner world, to your core qualities. Remember, there are 5 core qualities: peace, love, bliss, truth, and purity. And from those qualities, many qualities are like developing. Like from peace, I can develop serenity, I can develop calm, I can develop tranquility, and so on and so forth. From love, I can develop care, I can develop tenderness, I can develop sweetness, many qualities. From bliss, I can develop joy, happiness, enthusiasm. From truth, sincerity, integrity, coherence, honesty, so many. And if I enter to my core, or in which there are those 5 qualities, then it is like a rosary, that other qualities will emerge. And then I will feel full, plenty. Sorry? Okay, very good question. Yes, we can now answer some questions. The question that she... Okay.
If anyone wants to
it's
say
good,
something,
it's
please
good
ask
to
for the
speak
mic,
to the
yeah?
mic, because otherwise, but first she didn't, I can repeat her question.
So I'll repeat on this one.
Yeah, her question was, how can we control an overactive mind? very good question.
I'll add to that, sister. Like you said about the meditation. So what, according to I'll say about my experience. Like you're saying, like when you are go inside, and when you are at sea or at like beautiful places, you automatically have blissful feeling. But when you are at home or something like chaotic situation or somewhere you are getting triggered, I believe that's the hardest part, like get into the meditation. So how to avoid those factors, like what I tried is like doing little bit of exercise, because if I sit, like for say if I do meditation in the mornings, and mornings my anxiety levels are really high, so what I feel is like I'm not able to meditate. My body is like moving a lot, like a lot of things are coming into my head, a lot of cortisol is running. So I'm looking for the hack, which I have observed, like when I do the exercise, reduce a little bit of stress, whatsoever is going, maybe doing some physical activity, then doing the meditation will help work. But this is not possible all the times. Like sometimes I want to do meditation in my office hours, like when I have to focus on some important tasks. So how to just switch, like overactive mind to a peaceful bliss, to connect inside.
There are no miracles. No miracles. But there are methods. There are good methods. Not miracles, but good methods. I can tell you I can tell you my experience. I had been studying my whole life, and my mind was overactive. I took the course when I was 40 or 41 or so. No, less than that, 30, 36. And my mind was very, very overactive. I couldn't stop my mind. I remember that my teacher, my Raja Yoga teacher, told me, meditation is very easy. Just it's like thinking. Just sit and think in your kitchen. I was in UK, I was in Birmingham, but I was thinking in my kitchen in Valencia. I was not in my place. And think in your kitchen, and that you are in your kitchen and you open the wardrobe and you take a cup and blah, 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 blah. Okay. When I was thinking in opening the cupboard, I started thinking another thing. I mean, I couldn't not even concentrate for some seconds. My mind was hyperactive, okay? What I did is, with a lot of patience, so first idea, patient. What I did was to use a method of listening talks, meditations, commentaries. Because with only music, I couldn't concentrate. If I put music, my mind was hyperactive again. Guided meditation was very good for me. Because you need to distract your mind. I mean, the mind is like a child. The child has a lot of stimulus. Sometimes the stimulus are outside. For example, if you are here and someone comes with something very attractive, then your mind starts thinking in that. Okay, it's like a child that attracts from everything. But sometimes the attraction comes from inside. Sometimes they are nice attractions, and other times are not so nice, like worries or fears or whatever. So for that, you have to redirect your mind towards other distractions that are nicer. And the meditation commentaries were very nice for me because they were sweet, nice with the music, and also talks, because I found interest in the talks. And then I was all the time with CDs now the CDs are not so fashionable, but 30 years ago they were very fashionable. With CDs, listening, even when I was driving, I was listening meditation commentaries and talks. And I was very patient. And in a few months, I remember one day that I was waiting for the bus. And after all that continuity in my effort, in some way, suddenly I started thinking very positively in a very happy way, without purpose, because normally this happens when I purposely concentrate, I am going to be happy now, blah, 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 no? But in that moment, it was spontaneous. I think, oh, my mind is becoming happy, finally. But it took me nearly 1 year to reach that point, that my mind started thinking in the way I wanted the mind think, So there are no miracles. We must be very patient. We must use the methods that fit better to ourselves, because maybe for me was this method of using the commentaries or the talks. Maybe for you is another method. But another method can be make your own commentaries. Be active. For example, take your mobile. Now, many facilities we have. Your mobile and record. I'm going to do my own commentary for feeling peace. You are a peaceful soul. You are a peaceful being. You are blah, 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 blah. As if you were doing that for others, Or do your own talk. You have now received some ideas. Do your own talk. Or writing also. The mind, when you are writing, the mind is concentrated. It has concentration when you write. Or reading. It's very important to read, to give good food to the mind. You cannot pretend to think positively if you see a terror movie. Okay? I mean, you see a movie, a violent movie, a terror movie, and after that you complain, oh, my thoughts are not nice, no? Which is the food that you are giving to your mind? You have to give to your mind a healthy food. That means healthy thoughts, good company. Or another healthy food is when you are, for example, with someone that is speaking bad of another, with criticism or whatever, let this enter in from 1 year and leave from the other, Don't. Or start speaking well about that person, Change the pattern again. Because this is not good for you. But if someone criticizes someone and you say, yes, yeah, and I know another thing that is not good, blah, 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 no? It's like bad food for the intellect and the mind. So be very careful. In some way, is protect the self. Protect the self. Because we are very valuable. Our mind is very valuable. We want our mind to be peaceful, to be loveful, blissful. But for that, we have to take care, like a child. We have to educate our mind as well. So, is any question?
You can connect with yourself anywhere and anytime, and you feel happy, you feel that peace. But how can you do that when you're not meditating, when you're on the bus, you're going to work, or on the train going home, you have 100 things on your mind, and how can you evoke that peaceful, that happiness inside you? What are the thoughts you have at that present moment to do that?
Mm-hmm. The question is to be active, to have an active attitude. For example, we tend, this is my experience as well, when we are in the bus, the train, or wherever, we don't have something to do in that moment, no? Then we tend to be passive, just looking at people, oh, this person, blah, 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 or just looking at the mobile, this was frequent saying, no? Seeing the WhatsApp or whatever. But try to take the most of those moments that you don't have to do something. You don't have any obligation, nothing. So for your spiritual benefit. For example, if you have time because you are in a bus, and here in London, you can spend hours in the transport. Take something to read, something that is good for the spirit, in the sense of good thoughts, something that uplifts the spirit. Or just listen, okay, in the mobile, but listen something, a commentary, a meditation, a talk, or something that is good for you. Or just think by yourself in whatever. For example, ask yourself good questions. The mind is stimulated by good questions. For example, it's a very deep question, but you are in the bus and you ask yourself, which is my purpose in life? Which is my purpose in life? Okay, maybe I wouldn't, it's not possible to answer that question in this moment, but I will reflect on that through this hour, which is what is motivating me in life. How can I make my life in a way that I get more enthusiasm for living? I mean, ask yourself very deep questions. And you are stimulating your intellect, your mind, you know? I mean, and instead of losing your time, you are taking benefit of. Of course, they know Raja Yoga, but at the very beginning, when I told them, I am doing yoga, and they said to me, oh, mommy, you will be the whole day like this, sit in a lotus position. No, it's not like that. I mean, you can do yoga, meditation in action, in the bus, and any place. Yeah. Okay.
There is one, you mentioned 5 qualities earlier. You mentioned 5 qualities earlier. Can you just repeat them again? Someone asked online, please. Thank you.
Yes. I mentioned the 5 core qualities because there are many qualities, of course. But there are 5 that are the main ones, the core ones. And these 5 are in all of us. I should say in all the human beings, even if they are behaving very badly. They are there. It's like they are consubstantial with the spirit, with the human spirit. One is peace, One is love, pure love. One is bliss. One is truth and purity. And from those 5 core qualities, many qualities emerge, like I said before. So this is important to connect with our core qualities, because we can have experiences, very, very good experiences. Yeah. And also, as I said before, connect with the source of those qualities, with the ocean of love, ocean of bliss, ocean of peace, that recharge ourselves and help us to get this strength. And nowadays, we need that strength, because the situations are very tough, very tough. So we need a lot of resilience, a lot of strength. Shall we meditate? 5 minutes. I will make a commentary. I start relaxing my body. If I feel that a part of my body is tense, helping with my breath, I try to relax. I observe my breath, the air inside, going inside and going out. And my body is very relaxed now. Now I turn my attention to the center of my forehead. I relax my forehead. And I see in the center of my forehead, I see a little star, very bright. Very tiny and very bright. In that star, there are my 5 qualities. In that star, there is an ocean of experiences. I sit in the middle of that star, and I feel very light, very light. I feel very peaceful, completely peaceful inside. And from that point, I can connect easily with, with another point surrounded by a huge light, a bright star, surrounded by a pure light, peaceful light. A star of peace, of infinite peace, huge peace. And that peace is filling me, recharging me. I open the self to that vibration. That purity, that light is making me strong and powerful, very powerful. And with that feeling of plenitude, of contentment, I absorb those qualities in myself. And slowly I come back to the world of movement, but with a different state of mind, more peaceful and strong. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Maria, for the wonderful talk and all the tools and tips given.
Sorry for my English, because I think, especially at the beginning, my English was not very
It's
good.
okay. Thank you. Our next week theme is the medicine of gratitude, same time, same place. And the product of the week is Awaken Your Inner Wisdom by Sister Janti. It's available in the shop. Shop will be open, so you can browse on your way out. Once again, thank you for joining us and have a safe journey back home. Thank you.